Most people believe their biggest problem is a lack of discipline. They think they quit too easily. They think they lose motivation too fast. They think something is wrong with their character. So they keep trying to fix themselves. They download productivity apps. They watch videos about grit. They promise that next time will be different. But beneath all of that effort, there's a quieter, more confusing problem that rarely gets named. What if the issue isn't that you quit, but that you don't know which version of yourself deserves your loyalty? You don't see one future when you look ahead. You see many. And each one feels meaningful. Each one feels alive. Each one feels like a version of who you could become. So choosing one doesn't feel like commitment. It feels like loss. It feels like closing doors that you're not emotionally ready to close. And that tension lives in your body. It shows up as restlessness, as low-grade anxiety, as the sense that time is moving faster than you are. People around you don't understand this. From the outside, it looks like indecision, like inconsistency, like a lack of seriousness. But internally, it feels like standing at the center of a map with too many paths and no way to explore them all. There's a name for this experience. It's often called the scanner's dilemma. The feeling that you could do almost anything, if only you knew which thing was the right one. Society has other names too. Dilettante, generalist, jack of all trades, master of none. And while those words may sound harmless, they carry a hidden accusation. They imply that depth is moral, that focus equals maturity, that range is a failure to grow up. Over time, that accusation becomes internalized. You start monitoring yourself, judging your curiosity, second-guessing your excitement. What once felt like openness begins to feel like instability. Your curiosity, the very thing that makes you feel alive, starts to feel dangerous. There's a line William James once wrote that captures this inner state perfectly. He described the human mind as a buzzing, blooming confusion. For many people, that confusion fades with age. For others, it doesn't. And those people are often told they need to be fixed. But what if the problem isn't your mind? What if the problem is the environment you're trying to force it into? For most of the last century, the world rewarded specialists. The environment was stable. The rules were clear. The feedback was fast. If you chose a path and stayed on it long enough, progress was almost guaranteed. Psychologists call this a kind learning environment. In kind environments, repetition works. Consistency compounds. Specialization makes sense. This is where the ideal of the expert comes from. The I-shaped career. One identity, one domain, one label that follows you for life. And for a long time, this model worked remarkably well. But something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. The world became less predictable, more interconnected, more abstract. Today, most of us live in what psychologists call a wicked learning environment. In wicked environments, the rules shift constantly. Feedback is delayed, incomplete, or misleading. Patterns are hard to detect. Think about the difference between learning chess and navigating modern life. Chess is kind, life is wicked. Or think about a golfer and a firefighter. A golfer practices in stable conditions. The rules never change. The feedback is immediate. A firefighter enters a new situation every time. No two fires are the same. What worked yesterday might be dangerous today. In a wicked environment, hyper-specialization can become a liability. It creates blind spots. It narrows perception. It assumes the future will look like the past. And when society continues to measure everyone by the standards of a kind world, people whose minds are built for adaptability start to feel broken.
To understand your place in this world, it helps to stop thinking in job titles and start thinking in shapes. The I-shaped person is the specialist. At the other extreme is the dash-shaped person. Broad interests, shallow depth, no stable foundation. This shape creates anxiety because there's nowhere to stand. But there's another shape that rarely gets discussed seriously. The M-shaped career, sometimes called the polymath path. An M-shaped person builds depth in more than one domain, not simultaneously, not chaotically, sequentially. One pillar becomes solid, then another. Between them, connections form. From the outside, this can look messy, unfocused, non-linear. But internally, something very different is happening. You are building a structure that allows ideas to move between worlds. There's a line often attributed to Nietzsche that captures this inner state perfectly. He described one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. What looks like chaos from the outside is often raw creative material on the inside. An M-shaped person is not confused. They are integrating. They are translating. They are doing something that pure specialists often struggle to do. They are seeing patterns. This ability has a name. It's called far transfer. A specialist uses near transfer, applying known skills to very similar problems. A polymath uses far transfer. They recognize the underlying structure of a problem and apply insights from one domain to a completely different one. This is how breakthroughs happen. Someone studying biology suddenly sees a better way to design networks. Someone trained in music writes cleaner, more elegant code. Someone fascinated by history builds better organizations. They are not distracted. They are cross-pollinating. Carl Jung once wrote something that explains this dynamic perfectly. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct. Curiosity is not a flaw, it's a signal. It's the mind exploring possibility space. The problem is not curiosity. The problem is trying to satisfy curiosity without structure. This is where many scanners get stuck. They try to build everything at once. They start 5 projects. They read 10 books. They open 20 tabs. And instead of depth, they get exhaustion. The solution is not narrowing your identity. It's sequencing your focus. This is called serial mastery. You choose one domain, not for life, just for now. 6 months, a year, maybe a little longer. Long enough to build real competence, long enough to understand the core patterns. You're not choosing who you are forever. You're choosing where to invest attention. When curiosity in that domain settles, you don't quit, you graduate. You move on deliberately, carrying insight with you. This process requires stability, which is why the role of work matters more than most people admit. A stable, low-drain job is not a compromise. It's a strategic asset. Many polymaths understood this intuitively. Albert Einstein worked as a patent clerk, not because it fulfilled him emotionally, but because it gave his mind quiet. Mental energy is finite. If your job consumes all of it, there's nothing left for exploration. A high-status, high-stress role may look impressive, but if it leaves you depleted, it becomes a cage. Stability buys freedom. The final piece of this puzzle is memory. Your mind generates more ideas than it can possibly hold. If you try to keep them all inside, they turn into pressure. That pressure becomes overwhelm. This is why polymaths externalize their thinking. They write things down. They capture fragments. They connect ideas over time. Not to be productive, but to stay sane. Niklas Luhmann understood this deeply. His system wasn't about efficiency. It was about creating space to think. When ideas live outside your head, your mind can rest. Connections form slowly, quietly, often years later. That's where insight comes from. Someone once wrote, "You don't find your path, you build it." That building doesn't happen all at once. It happens through seasons, through attention, through patience. You are not lazy. You are not unfocused. You are not broken. You are a scanner, a potential polymath. Your brain was not designed for a rigid, predictable world. It was designed to move between worlds. And once you see that, something softens. The self-blame fades. The urgency relaxes. You stop trying to force yourself into someone else's shape, and you start building one that actually fits. If you want something concrete to work with, a way to map your interests instead of carrying them all in your head, I created a simple